but I don't think these are gonna be for us. So bummer to say that. I'm glad I'm doing it for the YouTube channel.
Hey everyone, I'm Trey. And that guy is Frank, aka my dad. Our family has been in the alcohol business for over 30 years. We currently have 6 liquor stores and 2 bars in Tampa, Florida. Subscribe to our channel to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to operate in the liquor industry.
Trey, how do I get this camera to work?
Okay, got something fun today. A different way to select a barrel, a different way to pick something for the liquor stores and the bars. But this today is a Woodford Reserve personal selection kit. So as much as I would love to go to Kentucky all the time, go to Tennessee all the time, go to anywhere and be able to pick a barrel on site at the distillery, it's just sometimes not possible. Travel, expenses, you have to think from a financial standpoint. It's expensive to go to Kentucky. It's expensive to go to Tennessee and get there, and room and board and food and everything that goes into it. So picking what we call in market might be the best thing to do. And I want you guys to really be able to see this, because every brand pretty much offers in market picks. Not everybody. Buffalo Trace, you can do it in market, but most of the time you have to go to actual Buffalo Trace. I think Willet only does it at the distillery, a couple of others. So this is how Woodford Reserve does it. This is gonna be their personal selection kit. And they look like this. Nice little personal selection topper. And then they give us 3 samples. So, and that's pretty common forever. I've already opened them up and gave a little smell and given a little pre-taste, because I wanted to kind of see what we had to work with here. So we got 3 different samples that they're gonna do it. And I just wanna note, why do we talk so much about bourbon on the Behind the Bottle channel? But right now, the past 5 years, bourbon has been incredibly, incredibly hot. Customers are super into it. They love this opportunity for liquor stores and bars to be able to select their own exclusive bottle, package, barrel. And so what is a single barrel? So in the rick houses, even if the mash bill, even if the whiskey that's going into the barrel is the same thing, whether time and barrel, how everything it works with the liquid in the barrel going in and out of that wood, it makes a big difference to how the final product's gonna taste. So, I hear it all the time, like, well, I don't really understand the single barrel thing. And that's what's the coolest thing about it, is that you're truly tasting these individual barrels to find different nuances and see how they taste different, and how you really have to pick that barrel for your company. And it's important, because once that barrel's gone, it's gone forever. You might be able to kind of recreate and get close maybe to that same flavor profile and the same characteristics, but truly that liquid's never gonna be around again. And so that is what's so cool about single barrels. And they're different than the shelf product. You might have these same shelf product brands, but the single barrel or the personal selection that you're gonna make is a whole lot different. So for today, let's talk about Woodford. Woodford is one of the brands that isn't a true single barrel. What they do is they call them more of a personal selection, and they are picking sections of their warehouse, rick house, barrel house, and that is what you're selecting as a small barrel blend. So they don't do a true single barrel, but what they do is they want you to kind of be able to taste different batches and pick the batch that you like. The cool thing that Woodford's doing also is that they proofed up. So these are gonna be 110 proof now samples, where before, I think they were in the 90s. Every single barrel pick, every single personal select, barrel select, whatever you wanna call them that comes through Liquor Depot, I taste and pick. And of course, sometimes we have help with local groups, or I have friends that have been involved, or people who have won raffle giveaways or whatever. But a big thing that's important to me is I want to be able to really know what I'm picking, what I am talking about, and then what I'm gonna give information back to our customer group in Tampa. So I will never, ever, ever, ever get a blind barrel shipped. And I think that's a big deal of why we have created a great single barrel community. Let's get right into this. There's a lot of blabbing. I'm sorry. A lot of blabbing for a single barrel pick, but here we go. 110 proof. We got our 3 samples here, and we're gonna just taste through them. So first, I like to look at that color. We go on the nose. You'll see a lot of people talking about different ways to taste, different ways to nose products. For me, I always like to keep that mouth open to kind of get that full airflow coming through the nose to the mouth, kind of to the side, so you're not just taking in all the alcohol vapors and kind of overwhelming the nose. And for me, you're getting some bacon spices, some cinnamon maybe, a little grain forward on the nose. Interesting. To be quite honest, not my favorite thing that I've ever tasted from Woodford on this first one. And I don't know if it's the proof point, but it's super grain forward, like heavy corn, like a nice finish, right? Kind of full palate, still kind of there, but I don't know, not my favorite here. I'm gonna be interested to see if that changes per batch, right? Per these blends. So this is gonna be batch R. Yeah, it's got some funk to it. And there's a lot of times that I would say I like this funk, but to be honest with you, I don't. And that's just me being fully transparent. This happens. There are times that I've tasted barrels. There are times that I have been to picks and we've had to switch barrels, and there's one side of me that kind of hates to be like that because you don't want to make it extra work for whoever you're dealing with. But at the same time, my final responsibility is making sure the whiskey community in Tampa is happy with the pick. And then also I am proud of what we're selling through the stores. So here we go. This is on batch D. Same proof point, same mash bill. Everything else is the same. Similar nose, maybe a little sweeter, maybe more like a molasses on the nose. Okay, so a little more balanced right there. That's nice. On this batch D, a little more balanced, but you still have that aftertaste of heavy, grainy funk. And I'll be honest, I don't love it. And that's a huge shame for me, and I hate to do this, but this is probably gonna be one of the ones that I reach back out to the supplier and be like, hey man, really appreciate you sending this kit, but I don't think these are gonna be for us. So bummer to say that. I'm glad I'm doing it for the YouTube channel because this kind of just shows you the nature of the beast sometimes with this. But yeah, there you go. We just tasted a Woodford 110 single barrel kit. Would love to tell you that I want to bring one back immediately, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Everybody in local Tampa, but then also whoever buys our picks online, the best quality thing. And to me, that didn't really set the standard for what I usually taste out of Woodford. So there you go. A little insight of what we do to kind of select some of these bourbon picks. And I'll reach back out to the supplier, see if they want to send a new round of samples. And if they don't, then we will have to look for the next barrel and next brand. So I appreciate y'all following along. Let me know if you guys have ever tasted barrels or been a part of barrel kits or barrel picks that you just didn't really feel hit the standard. Let me know in the comments. Would love to know kind of about what your experience was. And then, yeah, on to the next. See y'all.
Oh, it's nose forward, grainy, and blueberries and blackberry. Come on, man.